Entry-level jobs are vanishing at an alarming rate.
It's likely to be one of the most challenging times in history for graduates to get a job today.
Over 180,000 tech workers have lost their jobs so far in 2025, and the cuts haven't slowed down. In late October, Amazon announced 14,000 job cuts.
Listen, I need you to understand something that most tech influencers won't tell you, because it destroys their entire business model of selling you courses. The career path you were sold. Learn React. Build a portfolio, get a job, make 6 figures. It's dead. Not dying. Dead. Past tense. And the corpse is starting to smell. According to the final round AI report on the 2026 software engineering job market, we're not in a correction anymore. We're in a complete structural shift. And here's the quote that should terrify you. Employers want proof, not potential. Nobody has patience or time for hand-holding in this new environment, where a lot of the work can be done by AI autonomously. Let that sink in. They don't want to train you. They don't want your potential. They want you to walk in on day one and orchestrate systems like a conductor, leading an orchestra of AI agents. And if you can't, you're legacy code. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to make you survive. So, let's talk about why half of all developers are about to become unemployed. And more importantly, how you avoid becoming part of that statistic. Look at this chart. Software development job postings peaked in mid-2022 at over 220 on the index. Today, we're sitting at around 65. That's not a dip. That's a cliff. Remember 2022? Companies were hiring engineers before they even had work for them. Low interest rates, FOMO about digital transformation, everyone rushing to move fast and break things. Then reality hit. The report shows us 3 brutal truths. First, entry-level positions have dropped by 40% compared to pre-2022 levels. Junior developer roles, almost extinct. Second, companies are comfortable with remote hiring from lower-cost markets. Why pay $100,000 for a US senior engineer when you can pay $40,000 for someone equally skilled in India or Argentina? Third, AI became the perfect excuse. Companies aren't saying we're replacing you with AI. They're saying we're replacing jobs with AI while quietly offshoring the rest. And here's the vicious cycle nobody talks about. Companies say they can't find qualified local workers, so they reject new graduates for lacking experience. Those graduates never get jobs, never gain experience. Meanwhile, companies hire experienced international workers remotely for a fraction of the cost. Repeat forever. But here's what makes this different from every other tech downturn. This isn't about market cycles. This is about a fundamental change in what the job actually is. For the last 20 years, a huge portion of software engineering jobs were essentially glorified translation work. Take business requirements, translate them into code, debug, deploy. Rinse, repeat. Why? Because AI tools can now write boilerplate code faster than you can think. React components, done in seconds. API endpoints, generated before you finish your coffee. Bug fixes. The AI probably found 3 you didn't even know existed. According to the Stack Overflow survey mentioned in the report, 84% of developers now use AI agents at work. Not for research, for actual software development. But here's the trap everyone's falling into. Speed doesn't equal correctness. AI can generate 1,000 lines of code in 10 seconds. Great. But can it understand the trade-offs between consistency models in a distributed system? Can it debug a race condition in a multi-threaded environment under production load? No. The report cites a study by MFTR, Experienced software engineers were actually 19% less productive when using AI tools for real-world tasks, not more. Less. Why? Because they spent more time verifying, fixing, and understanding what the AI did wrong than they would have just writing it themselves. So if coding speed doesn't matter anymore, and AI can't be trusted blindly, what does matter? This is the paradox that's killing careers right now. Companies demand that you use AI tools. They see it as efficiency. But the reality is messier than anyone wants to admit. Heather Doche from Signal Fire said it perfectly. Nobody has patience or time for handholding in this new environment, where a lot of the work can be done by AI autonomously, but can be done and done correctly are two completely different things. Here's what actually happens. The AI generates code. You review it. It looks fine. You ship it. 3 days later, production goes down because the AI made an assumption about database locking that was subtly wrong. Now you're spending 12 hours debugging something that wouldn't have happened if you'd just written it yourself. And here's the kicker. AWS CEO Matt Garman warned about this. If you have no talent pipeline that you're building and no junior people that you're mentoring and bringing up through the company, we often find that that's where we get some of the best ideas. Companies have stopped investing in juniors because AI can do junior work. But juniors aren't just cheap labor. They're your future senior engineers. They're the people who bring fresh perspectives. And now, that pipeline is gone. So in 5 years, when today's seniors retire or burn out, who's left? Nobody. The industry is eating its own future to boost this quarter's profit margins. All right, enough doom. Let's talk about survival. The job in 2026 isn't write code. It's orchestrate systems. And that requires a completely different skill stack than what boot camps are teaching. Here's what you need to master right now if you want to still be employed in 2026. 1. Python, non-negotiable. Not because it's trendy, because every single AI tool, ML framework, and automation pipeline runs on Python. TensorFlow, PyTorch, LangChain, Anthropic's API, all Python. If you can't control AI systems, you can't orchestrate them. Simple as that. 2. System design. Your real value. AI can write functions. It cannot design a system that handles 10 million requests. Understanding CAP theorem, consistency models, distributed tracing, observability, failure modes. This is what separates you from the AI. 3. Go and Rust. Infrastructure languages. The report specifically calls this out. Go and Rust are rising because they're what you use to build the infrastructure around the AI-generated code. Go for concurrent systems, microservices, and cloud-native tools. Rust for performance-critical systems where memory safety isn't optional. React, TypeScript, still useful, but they're commodities now. Everyone knows them. They don't make you special. 4. The verification mindset. This is the meta skill. You need to become paranoid. Assume every line of AI-generated code is wrong until proven otherwise. Learn to write tests that verify intent, not just behavior. Learn to use static analysis tools that catch subtle bugs. Learn to think like an adversary attacking your own system. 5. Proof, not potential. Remember that quote? Employers want proof, so build proof. Not another to-do app, not another portfolio site. Build something that demonstrates orchestration. Here's an example. Build a system that uses Claude's API to generate code, runs it in an isolated Docker container, executes automated tests against it, and only accepts the code if it passes all security and performance benchmarks. That's orchestration. That's what gets you hired in 2026. Look, I'm not here to sugarcoat this. The 2026 job market is brutal. Entry level is dead. Remote work killed geographic salary premiums. AI made coding speed irrelevant. But here's the thing, nobody else is telling you. You can either complain about how unfair this is, or you can recognize that a new category of elite engineers is emerging. Engineers who understand that AI is a tool, not a replacement. Engineers who can design systems that use AI instead of being replaced by AI. The report shows that AI/ML roles are the fourth largest tech sector for hiring right now. Cloud infrastructure is third. Consumer tech is first. You know what's not on that list? Generic full-stack developer. So here's your homework. And I mean this literally. Your employment depends on it. Pick one system design problem. Design a solution that orchestrates AI agents to solve it. Build it. Document why you made the decisions you made. Show how you verified correctness. Deploy it. That's your portfolio. That's your proof. The shift is here. The question isn't whether you believe it. The question is whether you're going to adapt, or whether you're going to become another cautionary tale on LinkedIn about how the good old days of tech jobs are gone. Adapt or become legacy code. I'll see you in the next one.